Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a poor widow and her son Jack. They were so poor that they often went to bed hungry. Their only source of income was a cow named Milky White. But one day, Milky White stopped giving milk. Jack's mother decided that they had no choice but to sell the cow. She sent Jack to the market with strict instructions to get a good price for Milky White. On his way to the market, Jack met an old man who offered him 5 magic beans in exchange for the cow. The man promised that the beans would bring great fortune. Jack, intrigued by the idea of magic, made the trade. When he returned home and showed his mother the beans, she was furious. She scolded Jack for being so foolish and threw the beans out the window. She sent Jack to bed without supper. The next morning, Jack awoke to find that a gigantic beanstalk had grown overnight, reaching high into the clouds. Eager to see where it led, Jack began to climb the beanstalk. He climbed higher and higher until he reached the top, where he found a vast land above the clouds. In the distance, he saw a huge castle. Jack made his way to the castle and knocked on the door. A giantess opened the door and looked down at him. Jack, who was very hungry from his long climb, asked for something to eat. The giantess took pity on him and invited him inside. She gave him some bread and milk, but warned him that her husband, a fearsome giant, would soon return and might eat him. Just as Jack finished his milk, the ground began to shake, and the giant's voice boomed. Fee, fee, fo, foo. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Terrified, Jack hid in a cupboard. The giant entered the kitchen and asked his wife what she was cooking. She assured him that there was nothing unusual and set a large meal before him. After eating, the giant took out a sack of gold coins and began to count them. Soon, he fell asleep. Jack, seeing his chance, crept out of the cupboard, grabbed a bag of gold coins, and ran out of the castle. He climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could and returned home to his mother. She was overjoyed with the gold, and they used it to buy food and other necessities. However, it was not long before the gold ran out, and Jack decided to climb the beanstalk again. On his second trip up the beanstalk, Jack once again knocked on the castle door, and the giantess let him in. He asked for food, and she fed him, but warned him again about her husband. Jack hid in the cupboard when he heard the giant's booming footsteps. The giant entered, sniffed the air, and shouted, Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. The giantess calmed him down, and he sat to eat. After his meal, the giant brought out a hen that laid golden eggs. He commanded the hen to lay an egg, and it did. Soon after, the giant fell asleep. Jack sneaked out of his hiding place, grabbed the hen, and rushed down the beanstalk. With the hen that laid golden eggs, Jack and his mother were well off once more. But Jack's curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to make one last trip up the beanstalk. On his third visit, Jack again sought food and shelter from the giants. As before, he hid when the giant returned. The giant bellowed, Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. The giantess placated him, and the giant sat down to eat. After his meal, he brought out a magical harp that played beautiful music on its own. As the harp played, the giant fell asleep. Jack saw his opportunity and seized the harp. However, as he tried to leave, the harp cried out, "Master, master!" The giant woke and chased Jack out of the castle. Jack ran to the beanstalk and clopped down as fast as he could, with the giant in hot pursuit. As Jack neared the ground, he shouted for his mother to bring an axe. Together, they shot down the beanstalk. The giant fell from the sky and crashed to the ground, never to be seen again. With the magic harp and the hand that laid golden eggs, Jack and his mother lived in comfort and happiness for the rest of their lives. And so they lived happily ever after.